Hello YouTube, Infinite Magicraid community, Gandalf here. I'm going to talk about Sultra today, and this is the new hero that we can all get through Demon Conquest. As long as your guild finishes content, you just need to fulfill certain milestone damage on the boss on your own to be able to collect enough shards to get her. So you can see that I still have 15 extra coming from the Marius boss, but right now we don't have it open available, but through the Demon Conquest, as you finish, there are one-time rewards where allow you to collect enough copies of the shard to get her. She is really strong. She's a very solid shielder for the burn tag. And in this video, we'll go over her kit, showcase her a bit in the boss content, and how you could potentially use her across different content. First of all, build-wise, you can see that I've actually opted for speed and attack. And because of her kit scaling very much off of attack for her shield, I think her primary use is for shield. Yes, you can build her for damage because, from her dual saber dance, you are, doing about a decent multiplier here. And then when you have on resonance, it's double that damage. And for boss, it will even increase it even further. You can definitely prioritize that as well. But in my mind, I think you really want her to benefit the team from giving them the Oath of Burn to reduce all self cooldown and your allies team cooldown by 1. So the more turns she takes, the better. So that's why I would say prioritize on speed, right? Later on, when you get exclusive 2, you can also apply Wet 2 and Code 2, which is going to help you with bosses as well. Her shield is massive. At the beginning of her turn, she's going to give ally 300% of her attack as a shield. And this can be stacked up to 3 layers. So your shields, this can just keep cycling, right? So you will get up to 3 layers of it, and for any ally with the burn tag, you get 300% of the original. So it stacks up very, very quickly. Furthermore, even exclusive 0, she has mechanic that helps her gain turn meter when she gains full resonance points, and she gets resonance point very easily whenever ally gains any shield. So she's giving shield to everybody as well, so that allows her to cycle up. The mechanic just works so well with speed. So I'll prioritize stat wise, prioritize on speed, then attack, then mastery. Now I know it doesn't recommend speed, but honestly, this is one of those heroes you want to cycle a lot of their turns. Here, Blessing, you can see I picked attack and speed. Probably can do better speed. Emblem, this is kind of how I said it. Yes, I don't have full emblem yet, but it kind of maps things out for you already. Later on, you will need effective hit. You want to get all the shield effect that you can to boost her shield effect. Get a little bit extra speed out here, and then speed down here, and be able to cycle her turns. Right, so that's kind of the general build. In terms of aura, I always see she's in more of a support role, at least with the build I'm building right now. So anything like Mastery Search, Skill Master aura will be really good. Now, most of us probably have Skill Master on Big Jack already. So, if you're talking about a burn team, Big Jack probably will always be there. So, I build her with just the Mastery aura there. Because she doesn't do any direct damage, she will not be able to apply Combat Vanguard. Okay, so let's go over here into Absolute Prison. You can see today, oh, well, someone out damaged me there already. And somebody else, wonderful. Oh yes, this boss actually, because they do bleed damage, I think? Maybe, let me just check. Like, they managed to use this new pet to, get extra progress. Now, I still think, comparatively speaking, of course, Steven Bandana has better stats, but I think for against PvE bosses, the meta rate is still, better in my mind. Because I honestly don't know if the Frost Spectre actually slows down the enemy boss. And, yes, it reduces the bleed damage the enemy is going to do, but the big hits that's going to kill you is the second hit. Anyways, I did all my attacks already, so we're going to do this in test. Sorry. So this is kind of the setup. And I will say there's actually a couple of options later on. I feel like if we do get Sotra at exclusive 2, definitely I think people will be able to run more of a DPS setup. Here I can't survive just simply because the stats are not there. But there is an option to potentially replace O'Grady's out for Had. And the reason why, Had could be a possible contender, right, is Had brings a couple of skills to the table. One, you're going to get Deep Burn, which you lost because you took out Sultra. But you're also going to get Resolute 2, and you're going to get Ripple. Both of these are going to increase the damage the enemy takes, but also, Ripple is going to boost the damage for Chelsea because all of those hits consider as basic attacks. But for the most part, though, O'Grady's Ember, right? Sorry. So if we look at O'Grady's, the key thing with O'Grady's is that her passive for Ember increases the damage that the boss takes. And if it's boss, it increases the damage taken by 20%. So burn damage increased by 60% consistently all the time. And then here you have actually +4 +6. So that means it's 30. So it's actually 90% extra damage from Ember. So I feel like this is the reason why O'Grady's is still kind of a must-have, which means maybe in the future we will swap out Little Jack, like the 100 mastery transfer over versus are you getting strictly more damage through the debuff? I don't know. Little Jack also does a 40% damage reduction from attack, so that is a really tough call. But I feel like probably Little Jack might be the next one to go in this whole setup. Possibly speaking. Just guessing here. This is as optimized as I think things are gonna get though. But this also means a lot of players, right? If you still feel like you need a Sultra for burn team, not anymore, because Sultra becomes a free to play option for players once they're able, because everyone can get this one guaranteed, right? So anyways, kind of showcase, right? So immediately what you would notice is the start of the battle, huge massive shield on everybody, right? This is not a small shield. This is a very decent sized shield, and this shield is just only one layer, right? And the moment she takes another turn, we're going to see this number go up to 2, and you'll see the shield bar quickly increase. All right, and here Sultra, you see now, look how big the shield is gotten for everybody, right? If she takes one more turn, that shield is going to become 3, and that shield is way bigger than what O'Grady's is kind of supplying here. Now, in terms of setup for this boss, I did have to manual a little bit because how fast she is, because she ended up taking an extra turn and then not cleansing when she really needs to be cleansing. But I can open up with this, right? That's kind of the auto setup I have. And of course, immediately you see with that fourth move, all her stuff are now on extra cooldown, that this resonance all of a sudden come back again, available for use next turn. So that's pretty straightforward. This boss becomes now a lot more enjoyable and audible. Before, I couldn't auto this boss because we had to use without Sultra, we don't have a cleanse, right? Now that cleanse is so key to make sure we can actually survive, because we didn't have the cleanse before and we had to use the Raven Pet, which reduces our survivabilities. This boss hits super hard, and this 275 attack damage to all hits well over a mil later on once you kill him for the first time. Yes, we get deep cut, which is considered dot damage. Yes, maybe that's why the new pet helps, but that's not the reason why we're dying. The reason we're dying is we're just simply getting one shot from this skill. So I'm not going to bore you with kind of the playthrough, but you can quickly see that some of the heroes easily have 3 layers of shield. What's really interesting here is Sultra shields, right? It says grant the ally with a rose shield, okay? It doesn't even say these shields last for 2 turns or 3 turns. So you're always going to have these shields on until they're broken, all right? It will stack on top of these wind shelters, okay? And wind shelters can also have multiple layers. So you can see here, for example, here I got O'Grady's has a shield. There's 2 turns left. There's 1 turn left. But if you look at the shield from Sultra, it's actually infinite number of turns. And it has the effect of consolidation. So that's how powerful her shields are. So hopefully that kind of explains her kit and kind of showcasing this. But yeah, like maybe I'll talk a little bit further while you kind of just go at this. But like, look how thick these shields are. And I almost feel like, I think her shields can be stolen. It doesn't say it can't be stolen. Let's just quickly check. Like, this makes me wonder, could we run like a burn only team in PvP? That gets me thinking, right? Because these are very, very big shields. Like very, very big shields. Especially if you can get a couple of extra turns. Then again, we do know that, just consolidation and that alone isn't enough. But if we get really strong burn heroes, like some people are theorizing, we haven't had a limited hero that does burn damage yet. Well, Big Jack, I guess, does burn damage. But if we have, because here what we're seeing is, the new faction does seem to synergize quite a bit with burn. At least we've seen a couple, right? Imagine if we had a burn limited hero that then does a whole bunch of crazy things like reduce the enemy damage. That could make Sultra relevant in PvP. Right here you can see, like, yes, I am not properly timed because she's taking way too many turns for she's not cleansing in between when I need her to cleanse. But normally speaking, if you actually just manual it, you should have absolutely no problem at 2500 plus speed with her. But you should be able to easily cleanse all of that with Sultra. All right, so here you can see, in between, yes, I let the stacks go up a little bit too much and I end up with these debuffs. But again, Chelsea is the one that's doing all the damage, so it doesn't really matter. When I manually did, I made sure that nobody got debuffed, so I was able to score a decent one. Anyways, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully this helps you explain how to build Sultra. And in my mind, I think it will be a relatively budget build if you just focus on speed, attack, and mastery. And you don't have to worry about, putting all of those extra things that help her do a lot of damage. End of the day, I think even though she's an attacker type, she will play more of a supportive role on your team. With that, I will catch you in the next one. Gandalf out.